Maren said, "Don't open it yet," and I stopped. I want to record the sequence of that moment precisely because the decision to stop was not automatic, and the reason it was not automatic matters. I had the canvas bag in my hand. The record book said the second key has not yet been returned. The drawer was directly in front of me. The logic of the situation pointed at one action, and I had already begun moving toward it. Maren said, "Don't open it yet." I stopped. I ask her why. She says, "Because the drawer is not empty." She says it the same way she says everything, flat, factual, without drama. Not a revelation, a procedural observation. She is looking at the drawer, not at me. She's looking at the drawer the way she looked at the prepared section of the coastal fitting before she recognized the contact risk. I look at the drawer. It is the same table as before, a single table in a single room. The record book is on the table surface. The drawer is in the front of the table, centered, fitted into the apron below the tabletop. It is the drawer where we found the second key at the end of Season 3, the key that matched Key 47, the key I have been carrying in the canvas bag ever since. When we took that key, the drawer was otherwise empty. Maren is saying it is not empty now. I ask her how she knows. She says, "The same way I knew the contact signature was on the inventory page. The same way I know when an object has been handled by someone whose trace I recognize." She pauses. "Something is in that drawer that was not there when you took the key." I look at the canvas bag. The second key inside it. The key made before the archive, whose twin Key 47 has been in my pocket since episode 7. Both keys manufactured together for a purpose the investigation is only now beginning to understand. The record book says this key has not yet been returned, but the drawer it should be returned to is not empty. Returning the key now would place it in contact with whatever is already inside, an uncontrolled contact event. The same class of risk Maren warned us about in episode 63 with the redacted inventory page. Touching before knowing whose trace is present. I set the canvas bag on the table beside the record book and take my hand away from it. I take out the device. It has been in the bag since the acknowledgement tone on the Morwenna's deck. I held back from using it on the approach and at the title shelf because I wanted to observe without its mediation. But the drawer is the kind of problem the device was built for, or the kind of problem the device evolved to address, which is a different framing I am now aware of. I hold the device toward the drawer. The device enters its stationed mode immediately. Not directional, stationed, the quality I first documented at the coastal fitting, the quality of a measurement that has found its reference point and stopped seeking. It is reading something in the drawer. It is not reacting to the drawer's presence for the first time. It has found what it is reading, and it is holding it. I move the device slowly, mapping the edges of its response. The station is not uniform across the drawer face. It is concentrated on the right side of the drawer, not the center, not where the second key had been resting when we found it. The right side, whatever is in the drawer, is not centered. It is positioned specifically. I tell Hannah. She comes and looks at the device. She says, "The right side, not where the key was." I say, "Whatever is in there was placed there deliberately and placed to the right. Not dropped, not stored carelessly, placed." She says, "Someone knew the key would be taken and left something in its place." I write, "Object in drawer, right-hand position. Placed deliberately, predates this visit. Placed after the second key was removed in Season 3, or during the interval before we arrived at the accumulation site initially. That second possibility stops me. Placed before our first visit. The drawer was empty when we found the second key. We were confident of that, but we were not looking for secondary objects. We found the key and registered it and left. We did not catalog the drawer's contents against the possibility that the key had been placed over something smaller. I do not know when the object was placed. I write, placement timing unresolved, either after Season 3 visit or present at Season 3 visit beneath the key. Hannah has the drawer's exterior dimensions noted. She is working around to the back of the table to see whether the drawer has a back panel or whether it is open to the table's interior. She crouches and looks. She says, "Solid back, a proper drawer, whatever's inside is contained." I ask her if she can see light through any gap. She says, "There's a gap at the top between the drawer face and the tabletop, very narrow." She shifts position. There's a glow, faint, amber. I look at the gap. She is right. A thread of amber light, very thin, visible at the top edge of the drawer face where the wood meets the tabletop. Barely there, but amber. The same color as the guidelines, the same system layer as the Accumulation Site's record book entry. Not the deep red of the title shelf stamps, not the archive's standard ink color. The object in the drawer carries the same system layer as the Accumulation Site itself. I write, "Ambient amber light from drawer interior." Same system layer as record book entry and fitting guidance. Object is not an archive system artifact. Pre-registry category. Maren is standing at the threshold still. She has not moved fully into the room. I look at her and she looks at the thread of amber light at the drawer gap. She says, "I thought it might be that." I ask what she means. She says, "The amber layer. I've seen it at one other site. I didn't know what it was then." She pauses. I know now it's older than the archive's symbol vocabulary. It's the source vocabulary. Source vocabulary. The system that the title shelf marks came from. The system the archive inherited rather than built. The first layer beneath the crescent marks and the parallel lines and the catalog card system. The layer that made the keys and watch one before there was anything to issue them. The object in the drawer belongs to the first layer. I ask Maren if she knows what it is. She says, "No." One word. I believe it. We take 20 minutes before opening the drawer. I want to document the 20 minutes accurately rather than collapsing it. We did not spend the time arguing or deciding. We spent it observing. Hannah mapped the device response at every position around the table, building a profile of the object's location and approximate dimensions from the device's behavior. The station was consistent. Right side of the drawer, slightly toward the back, a concentrated response that suggested a small but dense object rather than a flat document. I checked the record book again. The amber entry was unchanged. The last line, "The second key has not yet been returned," was still there. No new lines had appeared. The interval ran through the floor, 11 seconds. Steady. Maren came fully into the room during the 20 minutes, which I noted without commenting on. She moved to the wall and stood with her back against the stone and watched us work. She did not offer additional guidance. She was monitoring. At the end of the 20 minutes, I say, "I'm going to open the drawer slowly, and I'm not going to touch what is inside until I understand what I'm looking at." Hannah says, "Agreed." Maren says nothing. I take hold of the drawer pull. The drawer opens on the first pull. Not stiff, not resistant. It has been opened many times. The wood at the pull is worn smooth the way the title shelf depression is worn smooth. A surface designed for repeated contact. I open it halfway. The amber light is immediate, not dramatic, a warm ambient quality coming from the right side of the drawer interior, the same character as the thread visible at the gap. The drawer is not deep. I can see the bottom clearly. On the right side of the drawer, positioned toward the back as the device indicated, a pocket watch. Tarnished silver, cracked glass across the face, the case worn smooth at the high points from long carrying. The same wear pattern I documented in watch number 1 and in my own watch. The same places where a hand holds a watch while carrying it. I do not touch it. I look at the interior of the case through the cracked glass. The amber light is coming from inside the watch, not from the drawer. The watch is producing it. A steady warm light from within the mechanism, the same quality as the Mark System's guidance layer, the same source vocabulary. A tarnished silver pocket watch with cracked glass and worn case, producing amber light from inside, resting in the right side of the Accumulation Site drawer. I look at the interior engraving on the case. The cracked glass obscures part of it, but not all. I can see the crescent mark. I can see the number. I look at it for a long time before I say anything. Hannah is beside me. She can see what I can see. She is very still. I say it aloud for the recording, because the recording is the investigation, and the investigation requires that I say what I observe. The number is 1. Watch number 1 is in the drawer. The first receipt. The watch that predates the archive. The watch that was found in the pre-registry chamber at the start of Season 4 and photographed and documented, and that we have been treating as an object we understood. The watch that the Accumulation Site record book confirmed was associated with the first listener. The watch that has been the anchor artifact of this season's core question. Watch number 1 is here, in this drawer, producing amber light, in the position where the second key should be returned. The second key should go beside it. I look at the canvas bag on the table. I look at the drawer. I look at the record book. The record book's last line is still. The second key has not yet been returned. But there is now a second line below it, new, written in the same amber hand while we were looking at the drawer. When both are present, the first listener's record will be available to read. Hannah reads it the same moment I do. We both look at the drawer. Watch number 1, producing amber light, waiting on the right side. The second key in the canvas bag on the table. The space on the left side of the drawer, empty. Maren says, from the wall, now you can return it.